Good morning, Exeter residents. This is a letter I received, uh, an email on November 23rd. It's my pre-Thanksgiving gift from our solicitor, where he informs me he's taking action, asking me to cease and desist on what he called quid pro quo accusations. And I want to address this and share it with Exeter Township residents and voters. Uh, you'll note that it's via certified mail and email. I did receive this via email, but I did not receive a certified mailing, which today's December 5th. I'm recording this, and I have yet to have received it. So our solicitor, Mr. Chad Schnee, who is an attorney with Tucker Hull LLC, has asked me to cease and desist and remove my comments from social media. And I have not taken that action because I think as a supervisor of Exeter Township, an elected supervisor, it's my responsibility to let you know what I think is happening in our government and the issues that I'm faced with to deal with. And I'm going to stand by my comments. Because as a duly elected supervisor, the second class township code tells me I'm responsible. And I have the legislative, executive, and administrative powers that the second class township code affords me. And they give that power to me for a reason, because it goes on in the second class township code describing what my duties are, is to ensure, to ensure sound fiscal management, to secure the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the township. And I think all of you know, if you watch the videos of the meetings, that I take my responsibility to heart. I do not take it lightly. And these are powers and responsibilities that our solicitor does not have. He works for the Board of Supervisors. He actually works for me, so he's attacking his employer in a way. And I'm concerned about many things. Sound fiscal responsibility. This is a big one, of fiscal management, because I think what we're doing with the budget is absolutely horrifying. And I'll talk more about that in the public meetings. But I'm just wondering if this letter isn't some form of subtle attempt to intimidate me. Because I don't think Mr. Schnee, as our solicitor, has the power to quiet my voice when it comes to issues about the township, which I'm elected for. They've been working very hard at doing that, but they are not successful at this time. So I basically am trying to communicate with you, our township citizens and our voters. I have to use social media because, typically they'll shut me down in a meeting. You'll see it. They've eliminated the supervisor's report on several meetings. Mr. Bell has stopped the meeting short. And then when I was able to give my report, they cut me short. Mr. Gardella, Supervisor Gardella, would scream out point of order, which is ridiculous. There's no breaking of the rules when you're giving a report to the citizens, your constituents. But they've tried to shut me down, and this is, in my opinion, another attempt to do that. So this is what I think is going on. So this communication that he's upset about are things that I've encountered and perceptions that I have as a supervisor. And these are my perceptions of what's going on. I think if you look at the videos of the meetings, the minutes, 19 pages of minutes written by our solicitor, but then the solicitor's firm, someone in his firm, and then signed as if our interim township manager was the one who actually did the minutes, which she did not. She admits it in a video public meeting. So, and those 19 pages are embedded in there are all sorts of comments that are critical of me. And I don't see the need for that in minutes to attack a elected supervisor. But this is what they're doing. And look at the videos. I think you'll see pretty much that what I'm saying is substantiated by them, and the actions that the board has taken to try to put me off in a corner so that I can't get involved in managing our township. So I encourage you to examine the behavior of the board in these meetings. And I think you'll see again, it supports my comments without any doubt in my mind. So the second page of Mr. Schnee's cease and desist order kind of deviates from the subject that he wrote this cease and desist letter on. It's not an order, it's just a letter. But I won't spend too much time on this. I think what you're reading is obvious, but I am concerned about where he claims that he's proud of having successfully reduced the township's total legal expenses while providing high quality legal representation. Okay, it's always been my way of looking at things that if someone's tooting their horn too loud, there's something you have to be suspicious of. And as far as our solicitor's claim of reducing townships' legal expenses, you look at this, it starts out with, I also note that you continue to make comments concerning legal billing. Well, folks, I put to you this, that as a supervisor and an elected supervisor, and you heard my responsibility is sound fiscal management. So is Mr. Schnee of Tucker Hull LLC telling me that I'm not allowed to have an opinion on the spending that's going on in this township? I don't know. It sure sounds like it to me. I'd like to hear what you think about it. And maybe you could let Mr. Schnee know and Tucker Hull LLC know that you might not like them poking their nose in our spending. If you want me to continue doing this, I will continue doing it. But he goes on then to claim that he's proud of reducing the legal expenses. Okay, and I think this is kind of an overreaching of what he's done, because at best this is a canard, a false rumor. He has no control over reducing expenses. I can tell you that the legal expenses are something that sometimes take off on their own, because you can't predict what is going to happen in the future regarding these legal expenses. Some of them are predictable, but not all of them. I mean, who would have predicted that Viva and the Reading Country Club would have cost us over $1 million in legal fees, $1.8 million in settlement fees? No one can predict that. So, and that was a one-time thing. And now we're not involved in any major issues that would cost the township money. We're trying to be conservative in that area and not step into the legal morass that attorneys love to bring us in, because they're all looking for billable hours. So I can tell you that he has no control over some of these expenses. And he admits that some of these expenses are from other lawyers. So how is he responsible for reducing the overall cost? If anything, the only way that he could take credit for any reduction is the fact that we pay him $35 less an hour than some of our previous solicitors. Okay, that's about it. So the suggestion that he lowered the legal expenses, that he was personally responsible for it, is ludicrous. And like I said, no one can predict what future legal issues we will be faced with. And part of this, I think, is the fact that Mr. Schnee this is his first time he's been a solicitor of a second-class township, and maybe that's the board's fault. We should seek someone more experienced, in my opinion. And I supported him when we hired him, but look, I'm not afraid to admit I made a mistake, and I think I did. And then finally, at the bottom of this page 2, you'll see that after sending me a cease and desist letter, criticizing me about making comments on township spending, and then claiming that he is responsible for cutting legal fees, he offers to help me and stop the constant infighting. Well, he's part of that infighting. He supports those 3 supervisors, the triad I call them, plus 1. But he's offering to help me. So, excuse me. So what I have to say, if you want to help me, Solicitor Schnee, you can release the investigation report on the harassment charges, investigate the resolution that they passed claiming I've done all these other things, because there's nothing based in fact on those. And that way you can eliminate the infighting that's going on. I think if most people look at this infighting on the videos, you'll see that I'm talking about issues, and then I get shouted down because they don't like what I'm talking about. So you want to help me, Mr. Solicitor? Tell the public that the findings of the investigation showed that there was no harassment of any kind. In fact, it went further to say there was no discrimination of any kind. And yet you allow Supervisor Gardella and Supervisor Bell and Kircher and Vollmer to suggest to the public that there is an issue when there is not. So you want to help? Resolve that issue. And if you can't take the pressure in there, well, I'll leave it up to you what you want to do. But I also want to say now, the last thing, as you can see, page 3, it's a copy of what I wrote on my website. And with this action by you, Mr. Schnee, the township solicitor, your responsibility within the second-class township code is you're charged with defending me in the event of any action that's taken against me or any of the other supervisors. But since you are the solicitor and you and your firm are taking this action, I respectfully request that you and the Board of Supervisors provide me with separate counsel. It's only fair. I don't see how you can attack me and defend me at the same time. We have very serious issues in this township, and you're focusing on trying to demean me, my character, and my reputation. And I think we have other issues. I mean, we have several one or two supervisors at least that are taking unilateral action without the full board's approval. That's occurring. And there's one or more supervisors that are participating in the day-to-day operations. I brought this to your attention previously in a meeting, and yet no actions have been taken. There should be an investigation. Even the Pell report tells us we should sit down with the supervisors and the manager and review the Second-Class Township Act to understand the separation of responsibilities. So there are more important things than being concerned about my comments in social media and on my website, where I am trying to communicate with the people of Exeter Township. I believe I have a right to do that. These are my opinions and my observations when I do this. And I believe, according to law, I am permitted to do so. So this is it. This is for the benefit of the Exeter public. I hope you enjoyed the video and my sharing of information. Thank you.